I'm going to get this one wrong. He did it to me earlier, but there we go. We're going to move it along and get this thing underway. First battle of the evening is off through the chicane. Harbali, nice initiation. Going to try and do exactly what he done in qualifying and put down that 94-point qualifying run. But look at this from Masser in that chase position. Goes for a dive, that 370Z. Almost equal in the power and grip. All wheels dropped off the edge of the circuit there from Nasser, as now starts to feel the pressure from Masser in that chase position. Good transition back, perfectly timed. This one a very nice battle for the first one to kick off our top 32 as we move through action. Nice transition back, looking for the outside zone, perfectly fulfilled. Up for the rest of the weekend. Here we go, swapped them around. Al-Habali to take on Masser. Masser now in that lead position. And Masser not to be laughed at. A very competent driver, nice initiation from Masser on the inside edge of the circuit, away from outside zone 2. Now looks to float the back end, that 370Z up into the outside zone. And look at Harbali though. Harbali knows he needs to repay the favour, needs to be careful on the transition, gets it done all on contact. And I'm pretty sure the judges are going to want to have a look at the replay of this one. And I mentioned it yesterday, if you were watching qualifying now, he's looking stronger as he moves into top 16. Back onto the line to the next battle of the evening. It will be Clint Van Oort to chase down Rafat Al-Yahahi. And Rafat, a man that helped Clint Van Oort fix his car in the previous season, 2022. And now Rafat comes up against Mr. Van Oort from the Netherlands to put on a show. Oh, Rafat goes wide though, stalls up. A little contact there onto the door from Clint Van Oort. And once again, Rafat super wide. Could be 4 wheels off circuit, and now judges implementing a 0-0 in twin battle competition. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if one guy spins, the other guy has to complete the run, or if one guy drops 4 wheels over the edge of the circuit, the other guy has to complete. Well, there we go, back on the line, back into action. And Rafat Al-Yahahi now trying to chase down Clint Van Oort. Clint Van Oort up and gone, puts a hammer down, puts a foot through the floor. Very nice line from Clint Van Oort. Struggled in qualifying yesterday, struggled in practice, said that he just couldn't get his head in the game. Maybe a nice night, a chilled, relaxed evening, has got himself back in the zone. Very nice stuff from Clint Van Oort. And now Rafat Al-Yahahi starts to shortcut the circuit, trying to gain some lost ground on Clint Van Oort. Clint Van Oort puts down an absolute blinder of a lead line at the moment. Good show to the judges, the potential of this young Dutch believe Clint Van Oort does get the win and advances through. And there we go, officially made. Clint Van Oort through. So your round 1 first place qualifier, Hines, off the line. Took the third step on the podium at round 1. Nice initiation from Hines. Oh, Nicholas Solomon there just stalled up a little bit, took a bit too much of a bite out of that on initiation and didn't want to make any contact, didn't want to leave anything out on the circuit. Now starts to lose some ground. Does gain it back though, and this is a perfect opportunity to make it back on the transition, and drops wheels over the edge of the circuit as Nicholas Solomon takes too much out of it, fires that car too far across the track. Once again, another good place to gain back that lost ground was there on outside zone 5, but Alan Hines lays down a very, very nice lead run as Nicholas Solomon drops wheels off the edge of the circuit. Alan Hines fulfilling them cones knocked down. And here we go, a green light ready to rock and roll. Nicholas Solomon to lead out Alan Hines. And Solomon, nice initiation, very wide on the circuit, trying to drive away. Now he's going to try and put a little bit of distance between himself and Alan Hines. But Alan Hines not one to be messed around with. Look at that drone shot, perfectly positioned out on outside zone 3. Look at Hines tucked up on the door, good transition back into outside zone 4 now. Hines want to start forcing the pressure on to the side of that E92 BMW. As we see Nicholas Solomon, nice transition. Alan Hines a little wobble there, went for the early transition, had to back out and get back into it again. As now Nicholas Solomon comes out of outside zone 6. Hines comes through the smoke, looks for the door, a little bit of separation to see Solomon out so early. But that, he said that the skill and the practice has pushed me, and there we go. It looks like we're going to have a bye run for Hussein Musulmani as Nasser does not make it to the line. And Musulmani will be absolutely ecstatic with that. And this man yesterday put on 2 very, very consistent qualifying runs. Big error there though as he drops a wheel over the edge of the circuit, but nevertheless I think that'll be top 32 nerves creeping in for Hussein Musulmani, and probably a little bit of excitement looking across on the start line saying, well, I don't have an opponent, so all of this excitement, all of these nerves I built up in the last couple of hours and last night thinking about battling Nasser, well, they're all gone, because now Beckett Al-Hajuri and Beckett's crew yesterday, last night, when I walked down to the paddock, were cheering and jumping up and down in pure excitement to know that they had managed to get themselves into top 32 competition, but a tough contender ahead for them, as we see Benediktas Cherba absolutely flying. Wheel on that yellow line right to the edge of the circuit. Beckett though comes for a little shortcut, goes on the inside of the circuit trying to gain some ground. He's lost, and again does it there on outside zone 4. Very scrappy chase, which should be clean, because Benediktas Cherba is giving Beckett all the opportunity for a nice chase run with that clean lead line, and Beckett there shutting it down. Maybe a mission. Look at this Cherba already back off the line, waiting to get a nice lead, a nice pull up through that chicane down. You can see Cherba goes for that initiation behind the lead car, perfectly where he needs to be, because you can see there he gets that line in. And now Beckett was on a very nice lead line until he fell out of outside zone 3. Cherba going to struggle to chase this one, I believe. Nice dive, Cherba playing with fire right there. Unpredictable lead from Beckett at the moment, and Cherba took a big risk on that transition, as now Benediktas Cherba once again is going to go for a wild transition through into outside zone 5. Beckett super wide, wheels off the edge of the circuit, and you can see Benediktas Cherba holding on, trying to get himself into the groove. Goes for the transition back, dives onto the door. Very well played. Look at this. I think an easy decision. Benediktas Cherba getting the win, advancing through. We're learning from the international drivers. They were trying to hone their skills, trying to improve themselves as drivers, and now we see the Omani nationals qualifying higher than the internationals. A very nice initiation from Mabsali as he puts a bit of separation between himself and Rostislav Rarahovsky. Oh, and he's debeaded. He's debeaded as Riyad Al Mabsali. He's going to try and finish this run out. Can he hold on to it? The 2JZ powered Mark IV Toyota Super made it awkward on transition, and you can see it's put wheels over the edge of the circuit. Now Rostislav Rarahovsky can get a dive onto the door. He runs the wall with just 3 tyres on the car as Riyad Al Mabsali wants to hold on to this one. Gets a perfect line in outside zone 6 as Rostislav takes another bite out of it. The transition back hurts him. Oh, and almost a big spin and incomplete. Contending that it probably wasn't chaseable with the car on 3 wheels. Well, here we go. We're going to find out what the second half of the run entails. Nice initiation from Rostislav Rarahovsky. Absolutely lays down a clinic on that initiation. Does go wheels off the edge of the circuit, just trying to drive away. You can see him super focused in the car, putting everything he can. And now Mabsali, oh wow, goes for a brave transition, but now he's all over the circuit, wavering and wandering. Can't seem to hold that car together as Rostislav Rarahovsky puts down an incredible lead. And this is what I think Rostislav Rarahovsky was hoping to do, throw Mabsali off so much that he can't put down a lead. And that the only thing I want to do in 2023 is qualify at OIDC, and she made that dream come true last night. And there we go, the pace difference you can see absolutely gone. Off the line is Ahmed Al Amri, and Ahmed Al Amri not messing around. Again, another Omani national that has improved massively in the last 4 years of my visits here to Oman, and now looking to get himself a spot in that top 16. But it's all very well having the pace and the grip to drive away from that chase car, but can he tame the beast when it comes to the chase of Noor Dawood? As Noor Dawood now in the background there, you can see miles away, no proximity. And Ahmed Al Amri, both guys give the thumbs up. Anti-lag fires from out of the bonnet of Noor Dawood's BMW E46. Tentative initiation from Dawood, but gets on that qualifying line. Not a bad line whatsoever. She tries to get to outside zone 3, just fails to get there early. Gets back on power, now starts to find herself in the groove. And Ahmed Al Amri doing a nice job to try and tame that S15. Wheels dropped from Noor Dawood. As Al Amri, you can see working that foot brake, modulating the throttle, modulating the power, just trying to do enough to keep the judges impressed that he can cope with any situation handed to him. As Noor Dawood now looks for the transition back for outside zone 7. Al Amri on the foot brake, tentative, holds on to it. And there we go. Ahmed Al Amri gets the win advances through to a top 16 and had to keep it safe. Tariq Al-Shahani doing a good job in both his qualifying runs, but did have an impact with the wall. The team working hard to get that car fixed, and it looks like he's working 100% now. Oh, Hadidi all over the show there, big wavering and wandering. Looks like that car's gripped up to the max, but Shahani not giving him really a nice lead to follow as he transitions into outside zone 4. Tariq Al-Shahani onto that outside line now. Here comes Haytham Al-Hadidi as he looks for the side of that orange 180SX. A wild transition back for Hadidi as he goes for the door. Tariq Al-Shahani goes way wide in outside zone 6, holds it together right to the edge of the circuit. A transition back across the line, and Hadidi set on their first half of the run, and they want to get the second half underway. Tyres smoked from Tariq Al-Shahani. Now this one going to come down to a game of pace and grip. Look at that front wheel clean off the tarmac for Haytham Al-Hadidi. Now he starts to get himself into it. Wheels dropped for Tariq in outside zone 2. Understeer from Tariq. Oh, and now it starts to fall apart. But Tariq Al-Shahani goes for a wild transition, dials on the angle, almost makes contact with the back end of that Red Bull S15 as they get into the outside zone. Shahani looking to make a move on Haytham Al-Hadidi as Hadidi sets himself up for outside zone 6, but Tariq Al-Shahani fights back, gets himself into the pocket and across. Look at these two guys, good friends, and there we go. Moving it on, it will be Haytham Al-Hadidi. Mick Kelly having that big impact yesterday before qualifying, took that car to the wall. The team again worked hard, get them repaired. But Timo Lipski, the Ukrainian driver, absolutely on rails, and he is up and gone already as he leaves Mick Kelly in a cloud of smoke on initiation. Mick Kelly struggling now to match the pace. Oh, wheels off track, and he's going to come up close to the wall. He makes it work, does Timo Lipski, as the bumper flexes down, drags along the floor. Timo Lipski, an error creeping into those impeccable lead lines that we see yesterday in qualifying, as the Ukrainian driver now finds himself in outside zone 6. Mick Kelly coming up short all over the circuit, just trying to gain back any kind of lost ground. Look at that lead line from to lead out Timo Lipski. Light goes green, and that green Nissan 206 S13 V8 power screams down the circuit. Wheels on the inside once again from Mick Kelly, keeps himself away from that midline. Judges not want to see that. Does make it to outside zone 3 though, but falls away super early, and this is making it difficult for Lipski to battle. As you can see, Lipski wants to be on that qualifying line, and he's struggling to keep with Mick Kelly on and off of that qualifying line. They transition back to outside zone 5. Mick Kelly kind of makes it there, dials on the angle too early, falls away from outside zone 6 as Timo Lipski lost in a cloud of smoke behind. They transition, no outside zone 7 for Mick Kelly. Well, we do believe it was Timo Lipski. Yeah, there we go. Just took a few moments time against Ian Biss-Phillips. Lalou off the line through in that white 180SX V8 hanging out the bonnet. Nice initiation from Lalou as he and now dials on the angle, looks for outside zone 2, just about gets there, gets himself into outside zone 3. As Ian Biss-Phillips now starts to dial on at the angle, starts to apply the pressure, looks for the transition, gets it done. A little shallow there on that transition for Biss-Phillips. Nevertheless, manages to make his way through the smoke, gets into outside zone 4. Does Lalou, looks for the transition as Biss-Phillips once again on the back bumper. Oh, runs the back bumper along the wall and scares himself a little bit there, has to back out of it. Now allows Lalou to begin to drive away as Phillips finishes up. Green light for go, and Ian Biss-Phillips up through the chicane and away. Wants to try and put some separation, not wide enough on that initiation though, finds himself mid-track, does get out to outside zone 2 though, as Ian Biss-Phillips, their big handbrake drag from outside zone 3, manages to get there, does fulfill the zone, but that allows Belushi to get up close and starts to play with a little bit of danger now as Ian Phillips once again a strange line into outside zone 4, makes it work, does get there, but Belushi now turning the screw, trying to keep himself out of danger as Ian Phillips goes for the transition, looks for outside zone 6. Belushi with him, Belushi playing with Ian Biss-Phillips behind now, needs to make the dive, needs to get the job done. Phillips in outside zone 7. Wait for it to pop up onto the screen. There we go, Ali Al-Belushi gets the win. Driver Rostislav Orohovsky to take on Riyad Al-Mabsali the one more time. Cone's knocked, no problem here. Riyad Al-Mabsali looks to do exactly what he did last time. No DB this time from Riyad Al-Mabsali. Locks up that front wheel, he's heavily on the foot brake. Judge will be taking a look at that one. Does get into outside zone 3, but now Rostislav Orohovsky applies the pressure. He knows the moves, he knows exactly what Riyad Al-Mabsali is going to do. Very nice lead Good transition from Mapsali as he's in and on outside zone 4, looks for that white line, he gets there. Oh, what a strange transition from Rostislav Rorohovsky as he goes wheels off circuit. So does Riyad Al Mapsali though on outside zone 6 as he pushes that car super wide. Nice transition, but he comes up a little short from Riyad Al Mapsali. As Rostislav Rorohovsky leads out Riyad Al Mapsali. Nice initiation from Rostislav Rorohovsky. Oh, and a big catch of understeer as Rostislav goes wheels off track. And unfortunately for Mapsali, the end of the weekend for him, that understeer forced him clear off track. As Rostislav now will fulfill his lead role. And Rorohovsky looks for that final transition into outside zone 7. Nicely done, and across the line in that one. And there we go, Rostislav Rorohovsky gets the win, a little jump of joy. Back on to the line then, Max Seed, one of the fastest men around this circuit. Well, let's see how fast he is against Edgars Kogeras. Finished 4th last weekend, and look at this from Kogeras, no messing around, he knows the pace from Max Seed. Oh, falls down though on the inside edge of the circuit. Kogeras needs to keep his nose clean here and put on a good show. Good transition back from Max Seed, and Kogeras wheels drop though here, there and everywhere from Max Seed in that lead position as Kogeras looks for the door. That GT86 transitions back, nicely done from Kogeras onto the throttle as Max Seed hammers down, tries to drive away. A big dive across outside zone 6 for Kogeras, and it didn't pay out as Max Seed gets into 7 and across the line. Lights on the start line come into effect to create that atmosphere. Green light for go. What's Kogeras got? He needs to put down a clinical lead, and he's got an absolute gangster initiation. Ali Max Seed though not letting him get away. Oh, a little wobble on the steering wheel there for Kogeras as he dials himself into outside zone 3. He needs to put down a cleaner lead line than what Max Seed did. Judges mentioning wheels off, but nothing from Kogeras. But look at this from Ali Max Seed as he applies the pressure, looks for that carbon Kevlar door. Oh, early transition from Max Seed to try and slot in back up onto the door. No such luck though as Kogeras dials on the angle in outside zone 6. Max Seed goes for it, looks for 7, a little wishy and washy across. So there we go, one more to Oman International Drift Champion. Well, he takes on Hamid Bullseye. And there we go, the Malaysian driver doing his best. Didn't manage to get out in competition at round 1 due to engine failure, but now has to battle the former champ. Makes a big dive across the circuit, does Bullseye, looking for the side of that PS13. Oh, once again from Bullseye, nice dive, but goes wheels off circuit, potentially 3 wheels off for Bullseye as they come through the smoke trail left before Bagsy on that clean lead line. Oh, a weird transition from Bullseye, almost making contact with that PS13 of Bagsy's as Bullseye once again looks for Bagsy, looks for the transition into outside zone 7. There we go, Bagsy does pull to the line, chasing down Bullseye. Well, here we go, Bullseye needs to put in that clean lead, accelerates away, nice enough initiation, but goes for a little dive across the circuit and that upsets outside zone 2. Bagsy trying to deal with this one as Bullseye, not the cleanest on that lead, goes super wide, into the wall. It upsets the car as Bagsy transitions through the smoke too early. Oh, Bullseye fires that car clean off track. Bagsy has to almost shut it down completely and reinitiate as he allows Bullseye the opportunity to get back on track. And once again, Bullseye wide, takes out the barrier. Bagsy takes out the body panels, and Bullseye says, well, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory as they get it done and across. And Bullseye, I think he just says, congratulations, and there we go, back to initiation. Can Fu Wei Shun hang, or will this one end in tears? Here we go, we're going to find out. Through the gears, down they come, nice initiation from Vasiliauskas, and there we go. Fu Wei Shun almost failed to initiate there, had to wait to see where Vasiliauskas was going to go, and Fu Wei Shun on the inside of the circuit watches Vasiliauskas drive away from him. That nice wide line, wheels off circuit for Andreas Vasiliauskas though. That car gets a little loose. Oh wow, and almost contact as Fu Wei Shun finds himself way on the wrong part of the circuit on transition on the inside edge of the track. As they transition back for outside zone 7, Fu Wei Shun ready to go. Fu Wei Shun to lead out Andreas Vasiliauskas. Hazards on, headlights flashing. Here we go. Vasiliauskas now to try and deal with the lead line from Fu Wei Shun. in and out of that zone, keeps it clean though as Fu Weishan now starts to lay down a pretty decent lead line, goes free, almost 4 wheels off track, runs the tyre on the bumpers, he's way off that qualifying line. Oh, and a stall up, a massive stall up for Fu Weishan as he comes into outside zone 4. And contact between him and Andreas Vasiliauskas. Would love to see a replay. That one just kind of come out of nowhere. Not even I was prepared for that one as Fu Weishan finishes up the run. Podium at round 1. This guy is hungry for another podium. Another shot at podium, sorry. Through the gears they go. Nice initiation from Max Seed, and now we'll try and get a concept to the speed from Max Seed, but nothing can compare him or prepare him, sorry, for Edgars Kogeras as Max Seed does what he did in qualifying. That was go super wide into that wall. Car got loose on that outside line, and now Ali Max Seed waits to see if Edgars Kogeras can keep up with him. He can on that transition, gets into outside zone 6. Kogeras goes for a little look up the inside, waits for the transition back as Kogeras keeps his distance away from Max. A game plan maybe. A little bit calmer after that chase run. Max Seed though wants it, he's hungry, looks for the door, dives down on the inside. Kogeras waits for throttle, and then you can see drops wheels off the edge of the circuit, drops wheels once again. Max Seed now starts to dial it in, knows that Kogeras is maybe a little bit wounded, goes for the transition on Kogeras as Ali Max Seed looks for the door, and he has the pace, he has the proximity as Ali Max Seed absolutely nails it to the door of the Latvian. As they transition in outside zone 5, Ali Max Seed looks once again for the door of the BMW Eurofighter as they come through into outside zone 7. Ali Max Seed dials it on once again across the line, and these two guys have had so much fun. And there we go, the decision's in. Ali Max Seed twice in this Boss kitted S13 and never made it out for qualifying. He said, I just want to qualify this time and get myself in the show, and he certainly does it. But fella absolutely up and gone, a little shy on outside zone 2. Big handbrake drag now, found himself way down the inside. It's going to make it difficult now for Saeed Ahmed to chase. As you can see, Saeed Ahmed get himself back into the fight. Wheels off circuit though for Saeed Ahmed on that transition. Needs to keep it clean and let fella make the mistakes in that lead position. Both guys wheels off circuit. 3 wheels almost there potentially for Saeed Ahmed as they transition to outside zone 6. Dials on the angle to Saeed Ahmed. Looks for the transition back to outside zone 7. Here we go. Light goes green. Ahmed to lead out fella for the top 16. Nice initiation for Saeed Ahmed right to the edge of the circuit. Opens the door for Fallow, fires it on angle, and he goes wheels off line, no wheels off the edge of the track. Nice into outside zone 3 for Saeed Ahmed now as he starts to fire a smoke screen into Fallow's face. Oh, that's 4 wheels off circuit potentially for Fallow. That could be the nail in the coffin. Saeed Ahmed comes off that qualifying line, transitions back into outside zone 5, trying to drive away, trying to put some distance between himself and Fallah right now, as Abu Fallah does everything he can to try and keep himself into the fight. Across the line goes Saeed Ahmed, gets the win, advances through, and Ahmed Daham will want to be back on that podium again. Here we go, through the chicane, down they come. Nice initiation. Daham absolutely flying in that 2JZ S14A. Samir Sabet and that V8 powered E36 BMW does everything he can to try and hold on to the back end of the Red Bull car. Ahmed Daham transitions into outside zone 4. Very nice at the moment for Daham as he keeps it clean, no messing around, just trying to drive away. Samir Sabet though not doing a bad job in that chase position, just not really got too much proximity. In and out of outside zone 6, very quick for Ahmed Daham, and Samir Sabet losing for qualifying. Not coming back to halt Daham. Where we go? A bit of separation already, but Sabet on the inside edge of the circuit does make it out to outside zone 2, and you can see here how that's affecting Daham as he's off that qualifying line now. Falls down. Samir transitions back, almost contact as Daham now looks to force everything in his way for a spot in top 16 as Ahmed Daham looks for the side of that BMW E36. They transition through outside zone 5 into 6, wheels over for Samir as Dahan goes for the transition, back for 7. A flamer ups from the back of the 36 as they get the run done. Pop up on our screen and make it official. There we go. Dahan fills the final spot. Go for it. And in the week, these guys pulled the engine out, stripped it down, had it rebuilt here in Oman. It's back together and working, but he said it's way underpowered. He said it's about 450 horsepower at the moment. Is it enough to make it around a circuit? As Nicholas Burton's absolutely screams through, and it looks like he's got it dialed, got it working right now. Beautiful lead line at the moment from the young Latvian superstar as he fires that car across the circuit. Dennis Miguel looks for the door, looks to make a move on Nicolas Bertans, keeps his distance at the moment as Bertans goes back for the transition. Miguel goes for a dive on the front wheel. Needs to be careful for contact. Yeah, had to stall up the Dennis Miguel as he put on the foot brake, trying to avoid contact with Nicolas Bertans. Look at Bertans right to the edge of the track and across the line. All round car slot into gear. Miguel to lead out Nicolas Bertans, and Bertans expected here to stick it to the door. Big initiation from Miguel, but he's on the inside edge of the circuit, not where the judges want to see him. He does get out to outside zone 2 as now Nicolas Bertans plays with Miguel, plays with that front wheel. Look at the talent from Nicolas Bertans. Wow, that transition, we see it destroy Bagsy's car last weekend, and he almost did the same there. Look at the precision from Nicolas Bertans as Nicolas Bertans puts on a masterclass of a chase right now. Dennis Miguel doing everything he can, shallows up the angle, tries to throw off Nicolas Bertans, but there is no way the young Latvian is going to go down without a fight. Wow, textbook from Bertans, and moves through to the top 16.